Peace, everyone. Give me a second here. All right, just let me know if you can hear me. I think I'm live. I'm doing something a little different today. So, yeah, I'm doing something a little different today. So, loud and clear. All right, cool. Give thanks, Kashia. Yeah, I know the volume has been an issue. So I'm actually doing it a little different today. So, I don't know. It may not be as clear as it should be, or it may not be as loud. We'll find out later. But or I guess I'll find out later when I look back at it. But as long as you can hear me, that's the most important thing, right? Um, yeah, peace. Ia Alda Ray, Barbara Logan, Precious Mom, Sister Moksha, Shannon. She love me in the dawning. Plant OG. Esme, always ready and prepared. Internet savior. Took back your message, okay. Sister Manera, as always. Let's see who else. YG Gutter, up doing your music, that we can't wait to listen to. Krishan, peace, peace, peace. Nikki Love, Baba Cruz, Sister Andrine, all the way from up top. Give thanks, man. I'm glad. Sister Joyce Isley, yeah, fight the power. Sister Joyce Isley, yeah, I think I know there's a bit of a delay probably, but I think I'm catching you decent enough time. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to do it like this. I think I have more options. Peace, Sister Deidre, Iris McCabe. If I said that right, if it's McCabe or McCabe, feel free to correct me. I don't like messing up people's names. James Gatabaki, peace. Alex Legant, the glove. Greetings to you as well. Greetings to everyone. I'm gonna glance over. I got the chat now up steady. Normally I have it kind of coming in and out, but I think I'll be able to see you for the long haul, if you will. So yeah, man. We're coming to our last day of the strong. Well, coming up to our last day of the strong, and I will that you're all finishing out strong and not finishing it weak. But I want to just give you a quick note too before I continue forward, and that's that peace, Miss B, Bajan, Barbados. Well, I could say it because you said it. But I wanted to give you a quick note on the solstice cleansing and fasting that we're doing as our new, because some of you have asked about it, and there'll be a Q&A. This I'm sorry, I'm just moving the chat around a little bit so I can keep that screen up while I'm doing other things. So just give me a second. I told you I'm doing something a little different. I'm kind of testing it out on y'all, to be honest with you. So I tested it a little bit yesterday, but I didn't have all the time. Oh, Miss McCabe. Okay, thank you. That was correct. That I wanted to devote to it. When I'm doing things like this, free stuff that I do. I consider this free. I'm not charging for this. There's no membership subscription on my YouTube channel yet. Maybe I will one day. I don't know. But there's a certain amount of time that I devote to experiences like this, the free experiences, as opposed to my actual work day. So yesterday I set up something, but I didn't really test it all the way through. I had so much going on. But so like I said, it may get a little peace, Barbara Victor. It may get a little janky here and there, we'll suffer through it. Right? So yeah, man. One of the things I wanted to share as we going into the solstice and we going into this fast, which is so important. I wanted to really peace, Amal, peace, Baba Amal. I know you left a you left a thing in the chat, comment in the chat. For some reason, YouTube kind of blocked it and then wouldn't let me approve it. You didn't say anything crazy. It was just like emojis. And that might have happened to some of the other ones. I haven't blocked anybody's chats or anything like that, just so you know. But sometimes they, it's the algorithm, the way it perceives things. But anyway, yeah, man, going into this fast, one of the things that I wanted to share as we're building, like I said, Anu is doing it, so you got a whole crew of people doing it with you. You don't have to feel like you're alone. Good dawning, me, myself, and I. You don't have to feel like you're alone in it. You may feel, a little. It might be your first fast. And peace, Cole 33. Cole 33 was the first one to ever give a super chat. I'll never forget you. But yeah, Code 33 reminded me I didn't even know I had it on there. I knew I set it up, but it's been so long. And then I was like, oh, that's right. So yeah, that was the awakener. But yeah, man. So one of the things about the fast, like I say, may be a new one, and we're gonna have a information session at 1 p.m. Eastern today on the Anu Life Global Ministries channel. It's not going to be on this channel. I'll put a link to that channel. We haven't set up the pre-scheduled link yet, so I will put up. It's Daisy. Daisy L, or I'm not going to say your last name, but does your last name start with an L? But anyway, so yeah, I'll put the link to the channel in the description because we don't have the link to the to the actual pre-schedule yet, right? But the channel is youtube.com/Anu Life Global Ministries. It's the whole word, ministries. Anu Life Global Ministries. All right, so building on that, build. Oh, okay, yeah. I know who you are. Yeah, Daisy L. All right, so building on that, I wanted to speak about something, man. When I first started to read biblical scripture, I came into it, maybe, I don't know if it was late or not, but, I was reading the Quran a lot longer than I was reading the Bible and other books as well. I read Aesop's fables like they were holy scripture, as a youth. So when I got into reading the Bible, I was very interested in more of what I would consider to be the militaristic aspects of that text. I wasn't really as interested at that time. Peace, Levette. Give thanks. I wasn't as interested at that time in like the moral stories and things like that. Not yet. That came, a little later in life, but I was more interested in, how to build myself as a warrior, from that particular information. So, I remember one of the stories that always like stuck out to me, aside from the story of Job and Solomon. There was a couple that stuck out to me. Sorry. So, but one of the main things I remember was the fast for 40 days and 40 nights. By the way, is the video freezing? Is it like freezing and then going? Is the video jittery? Just let me know. I know it's delayed and buffered. I know that for sure. But is it like stopping and going? Is it freezing? But like I said, I'm testing something out. I'm doing something a little different. But I have a feeling it is. But anyway, so what was I going to say? So yeah, so that was one of the things. No freezing. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, it is freezing, Kashia. All right, well, I guess three's a charm. Nikki love. Yeah, everybody says it's freezing. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I guess it is freezing. It lags. The audio is clear. All right, cool. As long as the audio is clear, then we good. I'll fine tune. Joyce Isley says good. That's interesting. Okay, so it's freezing for some, not for others. All right. I'll fine tune it another time. Enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Okay. All right. I'll work on it when I get a moment. As long as you can hear me, that's all I really care about. To be honest with you. So yeah, the 40 days and 40 night fast was always very interesting to me because like one of the first times, Peace Tracy. One of the first times is clear. Okay, yeah, I think it's popping up and down differently for different people. But one of the first times I ever did a fast, well, maybe like the third or fourth time I did a fast, I actually did a 40-day fast because I was always into numerology, not numerology. No, I was into mathematics, and I was interested in what that 40-day effect would have on the body. So I did a 40-day water fast. Peace, Barbara Vermont. You know, yeah, I did a 40-day water fast just because I read 40 days and 40 nights. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see what the 40 will do to a person. Regardless of what health experts are telling me 40 days would do to a person, right? So I did that fast, and that was pretty amazing, you know. And I've done it again, after that. But the level of sacrifice you have to go through, especially like if you're a very active person. At that time, I was really heavy into the fighting arts and just working out, my calisthenics, and I think I was lifting weights at that time. So 40 days on water, I deflated. Peace, Chris. Peace, Eddie, as well. See you there. So, like I was saying, so one of the things that always interested me, though, about that particular narrative was the whole piece with the adversary coming to Yahweh Shai when he emerges out of his fast, and obviously he's hungry, and he's like, "Yo," he tempts him with a couple of things, but then he shows him all of the nations of the world, and he said, "I'll give you all of them. You can have all of them," right? And it got me thinking back then, and I was like, "Yo, all he can really give you is human things," and of course that took me to Set in ancient Kemet. And being that deity of materialism, or that deity of thought and memory and ego, all that adversary can ever offer you are things that are physical, and sometimes we screw up our own birthrights because we make these physical deals and we exchange our spirit for physical, or we exchange our innate morality, our innate values, our innate piety, our innate righteousness for a sandwich. Now that sandwich can represent many different things, but even when you live in a time where surveillance is a high priority item within your social structure, there's a lot of things that we give up so people can spy on us, whether it be we want to have certain kind of phones, or, we want to get certain vouchers, or we want to be able to get certain things in our district and whatnot, and we give up a lot of information, a lot of our own personal selves. We deposit into the beast for their beastly rewards, and their beastly rewards are always change the chat here so I can see everything. Yeah, their beastly rewards are always something physical, right? So when I was reading that law, it was, when I say lore, it's Lore. I'm saying, not Law. It's just the way I pronounce it. So when I was reading that lore, it was very interesting to me, in terms of like what we give away a lot of times when we're presented with opportunities to excel and ascend, and into a higher or more purposeful or more poignant spiritual position. a lot of times we sacrifice it for something physical because we don't realize that there's something better about us, right? Or that the universe has been trying for a long time to bring a Messiah through our bloodlines. And then we keep blocking it because we keep trading off our opportunity to raise and rear a Messiah. We keep trading that off for, again, a free sandwich, right? So I always thought it was very poignant, when you look at certain things like that. And then it would take me to, I remember I had a brother I used to kind of debate back in the days when I was younger, but he was a Hebrew Israelite. And, you know, at the time, I never really identified as anything, so, um, it was just, but he used to like my friends knew he was a Hebrew Israelite. So whenever we were around, they would always call him over and they'd be like, yeah, speak that, spit that ish. You know what I mean? Like to kind of mess with me. You know what I mean? And because back then I wasn't really trying to, I would study the Bible, but I wasn't really trying to hear it. Like, because most of the people who were coming with that information to me just had a good time Jesus perspective. You know what I mean? And like I said, when I began studying, it was from a very militaristic point of view. So I recognize the Creator's chosen people as being a warrior people. So when you come to me with this good time story, and he loves you, and I'm like, no, he doesn't love everybody. Like, we can prove that. He came back for his own. He's coming back for his own. He ain't coming back for everybody. Don't get that John 3:16 confused, right? So I wasn't really trying to, good dawning, Mama Marva. Good dawning to you and the grandbabies. I wasn't really trying to hear it at that time. You know, um, I'm really still not trying to hear it. To be honest, I'm still really not too interested in good time Jesus. Um, but one of the things that always I was very interested in was the Hebrew Israelite relationship with the concept of Esau. Esau and even the Edomites. And you find another great example there as well as someone selling something or trading something that's precious, you know, um, for something physical. Remember when Esau came in from the field and Jacob had made that soup and he was like, yo, I'm famished, I'm gonna die. And Esau was like, all right, cool. I mean, Jacob was like, all right, cool. I'll give you this soup, which was meat soup. I'll give you this soup if you if you trade me your birthright. So basically, I'm a trade your birthright, your high level divinity, your high level potential, the potential and possibility to bring the Messiah through your bloodline. We're gonna trade that for something physical, for some soup. You see, so I always thought that was very poignant. I always got a lot out of that particular narrative when you coupled it later with the New Testament story of coming out of the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, and him being tempted of some physical sustenance. And what was interesting about that with that particular story, because again, like I said, I was very interested in, dude, he would always talk about, yeah, because Esau and I'm like, I don't want to hear that, man. Like, spit something else, you know. And I, excuse me, at that time I was running heavy, the Nation of Gods and Earths. So my whole perspective was a bit different. It was, like I need some scientific proof, man. Like, I'm not trying to hear your fairy tales, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you citing this stuff as if it's a matter of fact, but dig up a bone, something, man. Show me a tomb, because I can show you tombs of my heroes. In fact, I remember telling him, like, yo, the people who I consider to be spiritual authorities and that I consider to be heroes, I can go introduce you to them right now. You know what I mean? Like, where's your people at? you know. So I just wasn't really trying to hear too much of what he had to say, but and I still ain't trying to hear too much of that, you know. But you know, yeah, there is some value in not only the stories but the history, because when you study when you study Jacob and Esau, you'll know why cops get off after killing a woman, or stepping on somebody's neck, or putting their knee on somebody's neck, you know, or pumping somebody full of 41 bullets. You'll understand clearly what's happening. You'll understand clearly the hostility and the resentment between those two lines, because everything, peace, aloaye, Kamir, aloaye. Did I get that right, or do you need to give it to me phonetically? I know I got the last one right. The last one was not a challenge for me. But yeah, you catching me live. Jittery live, because I'm doing something a little different with the way I'm doing it. So I know it's probably blurry and freezing. But yeah, we up in here. But like I was saying, you know, so what happens is that, like I said, if you can read that book and understand that it's not just a book of parables and allegories and, you know, morality. It's actually a history book. Oh, give thanks, Papi Oshun. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Appreciate that big time. Give thanks. You know, lighten up the boards, as Haitian Queen was saying that day. You know, peace to Nika. You know, but yeah, when you recognize it, like, no, this is a history book, but it ain't everybody's history. That's the trick. It's not everybody's history. You know, we'll maybe get into that another time. I teach that with my new people, but there's things that they learn and that I teach them that I don't talk about in the public, because everything ain't for public consumption. Let's just put it that way. So so yeah, when you start to understand, like, yo, dude sold his birthline for some meat, you know, for soup. Alohe. Oh, give thanks. Alohe. Like aloha, but alohe. Or alohi. Is it alo? Alo. See, because I would have said cheap. You gotta break it down some more. Is it alohi or alohe? I'm sorry, I know we pausing, but you know, I like to get people's names right. Peace, peace, Baba Hassan. Peace, 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 peace. But yeah, man. So you think about all the other ways that we do the same thing. You know, like, there are people who will abort a baby because, you know, they feel that their career can't stand that right now. You know, not only is that a form of human sacrifice, child sacrifice, sacrificing your children to Molech, but that's also a form of trading, or trading your bloodline for meat, right? Because one of the things, when you break it down in the Hebrew, it said that Esau despised his birthright. Now, the word despise, it breaks down a little bit different. It means disregarded his bloodline. Like, he thought nothing of it. He cared nothing about it. And you know, the thing about it was so important for us, and this is like part of our body consciousness and everything. One of the important things about it is that when you don't see, this is inevitable. This is inevitable. You know, peace, Juanisha. Oh, you took your last name off your thing, huh? Okay, that's good. Yeah, peace, Juanisha. Good dawning to you. When you do not see the purpose for something, you will abuse it. There's no getting around it. It's inevitable. If you do not see the purpose for something, you're going to abuse it. You know, that's what sometimes when we're children, older people will come along if we're touching something, and they'll like run up. Oh, don't touch that. Do you know what that? First thing, do you know what that is? That's the first thing they'll say. You know, to a child. You know what that? No. Okay. Well, let me show you what it is. Right? If they're kind old people. If they're mean, they'll just be like, well, stay away from it. You know. But if they're kind, they'll say, yeah, let me show you what it is. Right? So sometimes the same thing happens with us. Because we don't understand our purpose, we abuse ourselves. Because we don't understand the value and the purpose of our bloodline, we abuse our birthright. You see? So he was willing to sell his birthright because he despised it, meaning he disregarded it because he didn't understand the purpose of it. He didn't understand the value and the purpose of bringing forth the Messiah for his people who were going to restore balance. He didn't understand what it was to bring forth Haru, who would restore balance, restore Ma'at, right? So not knowing your purpose, not knowing your place in the universe, not being able to, it's a GPS positioning. Where am I in the universe? What is my place? So forth and so on. Not being able to determine that is critical, because when you can't determine that, you're going to inherently abuse yourself. You're going to abuse your path. You're going to abuse your line. You know, a Muslim brother, what you saying, Mama Marva? A Muslim brother at one time told me, if you don't see yourself in that book, leave it alone. I would agree. Yeah, I would absolutely agree. If you don't see yourself, if you don't see that it's your history, it's a history lesson. You know, then yeah, you need to get some more instruction on that one. Like I say, you know, that book is like Carter G. Wilson's, you know, I'm sorry, W.E. Du Bois, The Souls of Black Folk, because that's what that book is about, the soul journey of black people. I'm using the word black for a reason. Peace, Arisha. So yeah, man, you know, the thing about knowing purpose and knowing the value of the bloodline, like I said, it keeps you from abusing it. And we abuse ourselves a lot. You know, we all do it. You know, and sometimes even in these experiences, these learning experiences, peace, Brother Antonio. Sometimes even in these learning experiences, we do it. You know, I've seen so many times people do videos and do lives, and I'm not talking about y'all, but like people just sit and stare, or they do workshops and stuff, and people just sitting there with this dead look on their face, like people are up there for their health. You know, like not realizing that this is an interactive experience so that we can all rise to where we're trying to get to. You know, so that's a form of abuse of yourself, not understanding your purpose within a space. Why am I even here? You know, why have I even showed up? Why have I even woke up today? Like, and then yesterday I spoke to you about your talents being your eyes, your fingers, your arms, your feet, your legs, you know, your toes. Those are your talents, right? So if I don't understand the purpose for my talent, I'm going to abuse my talent, you know? And sometimes we don't realize that the abuse of talent, or the abuse of purpose, is a form of spiritual and celestial disobedience. And the reward for celestial disobedience is death and demise. Doesn't work any other way. Now, in that book, they say the wages for sin is death. The wages for sin is death. But it means the same thing. Sin is disobedience against the Creator. You know, when you decide that you know better than the Creator. That's what sin is. You know, arm, leg, arm, head. Exactly. You know, yeah, some people get the codes in what I'm saying. Some people get it. You gotta have layers to it, you know. But yeah, you know, I really just wanted to build with you on that today. I'm not going to be too long because I have a feeling the video's all messed up anyway. I don't know if this method was the one to keep. I'm not sure. I have to look back at it. Peace, Miss Cindy Jones, Private Eye. I have to go back and look at it, see if it makes sense. But yeah, man, I just really wanted to kind of put you up on that, man. You know, as we're going into this fast, as we're going into this equinox season, you know, kind of really just excuse me, put you up on the idea of like, are you respecting your purpose, or are you disregarding and despising your bloodline? Do you recognize that the purity and the value of your bloodline is what the Creator utilizes to bring the Messiahs forth? You see? And if the video has stabilized. Okay, cool. All right. Cool. All right. All right. Thank you for letting me know, Kashia. I thought it was still choppy, and I didn't want to put y'all through. I didn't keep putting y'all through a choppy video. I can't see it the way I'm doing this. But could the Messiah come to me? Or do you have the mind like Esau, where it's like, man, I ain't never gonna be nothing more than what I am. So here, give me the material sustenance, and you can have this birth line. You see, give me the good credit, and you can have all this melanin. Or make me less threatening to American society, and I won't mate with women anymore. I'll do a different kind of alternative thing because it's just easier. I know I ain't never gonna get harassed or anything like that if I represent the total succumbing and subjugation of what your idea and your notion of supremacy implies. I'll stop my bloodline right here with me. You see? So that temptation after your fast and coming out of them woods or that wilderness or that desert and having that entity say, I will give all these things to you. All these things. What? If I serve you? You know what I mean? If I serve you, but you are an archetype of materialism. So if I serve you, I'll only be serving materialism. And that goes in the twinkling of an eye. Here's something, interesting. If you right now, if you laid down, if you went outside into the grass, if you got some grass near you, I hope you do, or the soil, and you lay down on top of it, eventually you would become soil. Eventually, you become soil. And people wouldn't even know after time that you were there. It would just be uneven dirt there. Right? Now you think about all the things that you sacrifice, all of the blessings and the power that's inside of you that you sacrifice to serve something that if it lays down in the dirt long enough, it becomes dirt. I mean, just give it a thought for a moment. And of course, we ain't talking about if you go outside for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you're going to turn into dirt. I'm not saying that. But I think you get where I'm coming from. I hope you get where I'm coming from. It's kind of like that saying we always say, you could lead a hoe to Amsterdam, but you can't make a hoe. No, that's not the one. You could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Right? And then there's always that flip side where the horse kind of gets upset for you disrespecting it like that. And it says, well, you can lead a human to laws and values, but you can't make it think. I guess would be the word. The horse says, nah, you ain't gonna put that on me, because I'm not really the one with the problem. I drink the water. You got the problem. So the horse kind of flips it around. You know what I mean? The horse kind of flips it around. But like I'm saying, I hope you can see where that's going, in that sense. But yeah, we got to be able to start seeing that there's value in the blood. That's why we're not supposed to be drinking the blood. There's value in our blood. There's value in our bloodline, and our ability to seek out our purpose within the eyes of the Creator is important. Because when you're seeking out your purpose, then now you're using all of your talents for the divine, quote unquote, everlasting purpose. You see, the divine everlasting purpose, as opposed to using your talents for material things that eventually go back to the dirt anyway. You see? Yeah, I know it's not a excuse me. It could be a tough concept because there's so many distractions. Like, You know, we could be like, hey, let's go out, let's get together, do a collective healing experience, man. Let's just get together and get to know each other. You know, let's go somewhere, let's go hiking together, man, and let's really build on these truths. Let's crack open the Anu way and really look at what's being taught in that text and break that down. And you might be like, man, my show was on. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I missed the last 3 episodes of my show, or I didn't catch any of this season of my show, man. So I'm gonna I got it recorded on the what was it, DVR, I think. See the DVR or TiVo. You know I ain't got no TV. I think it's a DVR y'all use. I'm a binge watch. I'm gonna go on to a streaming service and I'm gonna binge watch all the last season. You know, um, I'm not gonna be sitting up in there with y'all. You see, now what are you trading? What are you trading off? So I would rather have the meat soup than have the spiritual food. I don't want to feed myself spiritually. See, that's supposed to be the value of these experiences, is the spiritual feeding, not the entertainment. I look at Chief and once in a while he cracks a joke or he goes off somebody, oh, Chief crazy. If that's all it is to you, you're a moron. And I want you to stop being a moron. Don't be a moron anymore. Peace, Alicia, Ali Isha. Don't be that anymore, man, because that will get you killed. It's time to be wise. You got to be wiser than a horse. Like Brother Antonio just said, the horse says, I'm going to drink when I'm thirsty. A lot of us are thirsty and dehydrated, and we've been dehydrated and thirsty for so long that we don't even know the signs of it anymore. We don't even realize we're thirsty and dehydrated at this point. So we're just feeding the lower person, the lower woman, the lower man. And the upper man is just sitting there, and the upper woman like, I'm eternal. So you keep playing around if you want. Go ahead. Keep playing. Now, when you fall back to when you're dirt again, I'll continue my journey, but that messianic potential that you had in your own blood, you don't get that now. Somebody else is going to get that. It's almost like how we treat the hood. We sit here and complain about gentrification, but gentrification only occurs when you sat on top of the wealth for so long. You got a hood on the water, oceanfront hood property, and you do nothing with it. You don't buy up the old buildings. You don't keep it clean. You let people act however they want in that space, and then peace, Olga Jamalaya, and then when someone else comes and exploits the value of it, now you sitting there pouting. They chasing us out of our own neighborhood. It ain't your neighborhood. So it's the same thing with your own spiritual and physical beings. Peace, Maroon Beauty 21. Grand rising to you. When you don't see that value or that inherent value in your purpose, in your bloodline, and what's been given to you, then it skips you. It skips you. So it's time to reclaim it. Like I said, with this fast, it kind of brought back the remembrance of that. Not only thinking about Jacob and Esau, or Yaqub, and Esau, but even also thinking about Yahushua being tempted coming out, and having to be in a position where it's like you have to be able to see underneath. You got to be able to use your first eye vision and see that what you're offering me is not greater. Peace, Cole. Grand rising, bro. That it's not greater, man. Like I said, we're trading our whole bloodline for soup. And you got to think about what kind of respect would a society have or a nation have for people like that. They know that you got the talent. They know that the Messiah's bloodline comes through you, period. It's not even really debatable. It's not even debatable at this point. You bring forth the Messiah. Okay. But how about this basketball contract? How about this 360 deal? You just got accepted to school, but you got this girl over here pregnant. Well, I'm going to sacrifice the baby. Now, meanwhile, while I'm on YouTube all day watching videos about human sacrifice and Pizzagate scandals and things like that, but I'm walking my girl into an abortion clinic. You are the Illuminati. You are the one sacrificing babies to Molech. Molech, the deity who ate babies. That's you. Why? Because you sacrificed your bloodline or your potential to raise a Messiah for food that you didn't even need. Because think about the story of Yaqub and Esau. He came in from a day's work and he was like, I'm going to die if I don't eat. It was one day. But you see how the mind can play tricks on you and make you think your situation is something that it truly isn't. So you think about all the things, man. Oh, I have the potential to be in a wonderful, beautiful, fulfilling relationship, but my job says they want to transfer me across the country. I got to get this money. My children want to spend more time with me and learn more about me and who I am. But when I come home from work, I'm just dead tired, or I'm trying to get this business off the ground. They'll appreciate me later. How many different ways do we despise or disregard our birthright? And as a result, we trade it in for trinkets. How many different ways do we do that? I've been guilty of it. I'm not speaking from a place of total chronic righteousness ab initio. There have been times I've done the same thing. I've sacrificed the greatness that I could have been for a hot sandwich. Hot sandwich. So this is what I'm saying, just in this time, like I said, beginning this fast this evening, which will be the start of the 7th day or Saturday or Sabbath or Sabbat, or Yom Shiva, just give some consideration to that, man. The potential that you have, like I told you, impossible is I am possible. So what is possible to come through you? And who's trying to keep it from coming through you? Who's trying to keep you from producing that Messiah? As the COINTEL's program, one of its initiatives was to stop the rise of a black Messiah. You think it's over? You think after they crushed the Panthers, they're all right, we're good now. After they flooded the communities with cheap narcotics, they're like, all right, good. Now it's it's self-regenerated, it's working on itself. No. Like we read earlier, when they were talking about the children of Yisrael, let us deal with these people shrewdly. Let us deal with them wisely. Everything doesn't come. I'm going to tell you, your biggest hurt comes at the face of a smile. Your biggest con doesn't come with a grimace. It doesn't come with a grimace. You know what I'm saying? Give me $2,500 for this pyramid scheme. It doesn't come like that. It comes with smiles. Peace, brother. How you doing? All right. Yeah. Hotep. Yeah. Listen, man, we got this beautiful multi-level family economic building that we doing. And we got 3 different rings. You got the earth ring, the fire ring, the water ring, the air ring. And you can invest in different ones, man. And you can bring the family in. This is group economics, brother. This is group economics. Big old smile, everything like that. The biggest con always comes with a smile. The biggest con doesn't come with a grimace, man. Why? Because let us deal wisely with these people lest they multiply. Remember that one? Peace, Ricochet. Lest they multiply. What happens if they multiply? They said they may join with our enemies and take us over. Well, who's the enemies of the principalities of evil? High-level archetypes. You thinking the enemies they talking about is like the brothers and sisters in Africa. No. If we multiply our numbers and then we join with those archangels and those higher level Orishas and those Neteru and those evolved ancestors, those are the enemies of principalities and evils in high places. So what if you had a nation strong of people? We got our new nation. It could just be 200 people. But then you got 200 people that have joined with all of the spiritual guardians and the ancestors and the archangels that are connected to them. Now Pharaoh has an issue. Pharaoh's got a problem. That's what they're speaking about. See, a lot of times we're thinking that we're gonna beat this thing and we're gonna get over this thing through marching. And I'm a be totally honest with you. Conscious awareness and the black liberation isn't even your way out of this thing. We need more than that. I'm telling you, we need more than that. We've always needed more than that. That's why none of those things ever work. You know, they never will work. You could march to your feet rubbed down to your ankles, man, and you walking on bones, clicking up and down the street. It's not going to work. You know, because there is a birthright that you're neglecting by feeding into your emotions and your anger. There's a whole birthright that you're sacrificing and forgetting about. That whole be fruitful and multiply. There's some power in that, man. There's a lot of power in that. You know. So yeah, man, I just wanted to share that, and I wanted to kind of just prepare you for the fast and give you some things to think about. And willfully, everything I just said is like, you like that ain't me. I didn't sacrifice my bloodline, you know, or I haven't made bad deals, because that's what we're talking about, getting caught up in bum deals. That was a bum deal for Esau. That's why he's looking back at it and like, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna brutalize your people to the day, to eternity. I'm gonna brutalize your people. You con me, man. You got me caught up in a bad deal. I sold my whole birthright for a pot of soup, and then now you become Yisrael. That's messed up, man. You got me. You did me dirty. You know, now you become Israel. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, in the same instance, man, some of us are signing bad deals. You know, we're learning about that, man. Kanye West, for those of you in music, I need to get a screenshot copy of it. He posted a wonderful, amazing manifesto about what he feels new deals should be. It's just so unfortunate that sometimes he has some of these imbalanced kind of rants, which I don't think is by accident, but he has some of these imbalanced rants, and sometimes it causes you to miss the stuff in between that he says sometimes. And I'm not touting him as any kind of leader of anything. I don't think he's qualified in the least bit. You know, that's one of the problems when we have celebrities and influencers influencing things that are important. But I'm just talking about the music. But he said something that applies to other things, and he spoke about what should happen going forward with people in their deals and stuff like that. And it was very poignant, you know. But he signed bad deals. You know, I've signed bad deals. Sometimes your bad deal is a bad marriage. You know, you sold away your potential to bring forth a deity because somebody had a nice smile, you know, or because they had a good job with benefits, or because your family said you may not see it now, but you'll see it later. That's a good woman, or that's a good man, and you signed away what could have been. It's a lot of bad deals being made. You know, there's a lot of bad deals, and innately and subconsciously, we know we're making these bad deals. That's why we always jump to things that don't have a contract. Somebody says, "Hey, man, you can have cell phone service, no contract." All right, that's it. Where do I not sign? You know, because we sold our greatest things by contract. Many of us were sold and brought to this land by contract. So contracts scare the heck out of us, for a lot of us, you know. But when you learn how to make a good deal based upon your value, and you are now speaking from a position of value, it becomes a whole different kind of experience. When you have to negotiate, negotiations are typically done from a place where there's no power. So it becomes a very scary and frightening thing, you know. But when you know the value and the power of your birthright, your contracts look completely different, or you may not have contracts. You know, you may realize, look, I don't have to do this with you. I don't need you. I don't need you for nothing. I got this. I'm good. You know. So yeah, man. In your time of reflections, you know, I really will that you kind of think about that inherent value, and most importantly, just your blood. Just your blood, man. Like, What could I bring forth? Because there's some people on this planet that will never bring forth anything great. And I used to think about that all the time. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. I'm gonna tell you when. When Michael Jordan was at his, I don't know if you say his peak. But I remember I used to look at Jordan, and I'm not a sports watcher at all. So you start listening. The only thing I've ever really watched consistently was fighting and racing. I like motorcycle racing and motocross, but outside of that, I'm not much of a consumer. I'm a producer, so I'm not gonna sit and just consume like sports entertainment all day and watch somebody do something that I could be doing myself. But you can't ignore certain miraculous feats, and in understanding that miracles are based upon laws and commandments. Sometimes that's the problem. We look at someone perform a miracle like Jordan, and we just see it as a one-off. And sometimes we don't see that his ability to produce a miracle is because he has submitted himself to certain laws and commandments of what it takes to be great. But I used to look at him and say, damn, man, there's some people that will never produce that. That's got to mess with you. That's got to be a pretty aggravating and agitating feeling. That you might be married, and whatever comes out of your wife could be walking around pregnant, and that whatever comes out, it will never be as great as this. Now, I'm not just citing athleticism as this. People do other, many great things on the planet, men and women, you know. But that's when it struck me, just looking at him, and I was just like, man, there are some people who will never produce that. They'll never produce a Michael Jackson. They'll never produce a James Brown. Like I said, a Reginald Lewis or Ben Carson. Ben Carson says a lot of stupid things, but let's not take away from his brilliance. He was reprogrammed because of his brilliance. They caught him early, and they said, yeah, we can't have him being racially aware. We can't have that happening. This man is too brilliant. So now, like Kanye, he becomes a laughing stock. But these are people that actually have something. They recognize their birthright. When Kanye said, well, what if I do tell you I'm a god? Now what? Okay, I am a god. What now? He was saying something. He was saying, I know my birthright. You ain't going to trick me out of my birthright. That's what you've been trying to do my whole life. I know my birthright. When Ben Carson was doing open heart surgery, he was saying, I know my birthright. Look what I could do. Because this ain't nothing. My people were doing this in back in ancient Kemet. Back in ancient Kemet, they were doing eye surgery. Figure that one out. They were doing a heart surgery in Kemet. They were doing eye surgery in Kemet. You had the field of psychology in Kemet. People think that they called it talk medicine. When Nietzsche spoke about it, and they say, yeah, he was the first one to really have people talk their problem. Bull crap. That's a total and absolute lie. No, I don't mean like me, Adrian. I don't know, but you have 3 days of fasting that we're getting ready to go into. Whether you want to do a dry fast, liquid fast, or if you just want to cut back a little bit, however you can do. Don't feel guilty if some of us who can do a dry fast, understand that most of us built up to that. Our first fast wasn't probably that. It takes some time, and it's not a religious thing. So don't look at it like, if I don't do this now, I'm falling from grace. It's not that. But just give yourself that time in the desert. Like that 40 days and 40 nights to kind of reflect on what it is that you want to be and what it is that you want to do based on the beauty and the value of your bloodline. And, just make a pact to yourself that I'm not selling my birthright anymore. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling my intellectual property, my IP. I ain't doing it. I come up with something great, it's mine. And we're gonna work from there. I'm gonna recognize that the only master I have is my creator, who created me and who is still making me. And anything that I create going forward is mine. My children are my property. My art is my property. You see, I'm not selling the beauty and the value of the birthright, especially those of you who are of the tribe of Yehuda, or what you may call Judah, where other people got a name from. This is what got me kicked off of IG. So let's see what happens. I'm like, why you kick me off, man? You got other people on there. They're way less subtle than I am. You know what I mean? They're way less subtle. Why me? But anyway, if you are the tribe of praise, Yehuda is the tribe of praise. Yehuda means praise. You know, why would you sell your birthright? Your birthright is your art, is your music, because you are of the tribe that does that. If you're from the Caribbean, you know, just because you're from the Caribbean doesn't mean that you're of the Levitical order. But let's just say if you do have that gift, you know, why would you sacrifice your ability? Yeah, exactly. FIG. I'm with you. You know, but why would you sacrifice your ability to encourage and inspire, like Jesse Jackson? Man, my favorite speaker to this day. Amazing speaker. I said speaker. All right. Now his mind is woo. That man's mind is amazing. Jesse Jackson. Yeah, I said Jesse Jackson. Messy Jesse Jackson. I said it. Yeah. His politics and his agenda is something different, but I'm not going to take away the value of his mind. The man is brilliant. And the way he can control, oh my God. MC, Master of Ceremonies, Jesse Jackson. Martin Luther King was another one. Oh my goodness, man. This dude was brilliant. You know, graduated school super early. You know, he was a whiz kid. And then just his whole style, his cadence, his voice, like, woo! And he sacrificed his gift for a little while. He did. Uh-oh, I think I'm frozen. Y'all let me know if I'm frozen. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use this method again. I think I froze up a little bit there, but start talking about some of the important stuff. You see what happens. But yeah, I definitely must have froze because I see the chat room ain't even moving. You know, so I'm gonna give it a second and see if it comes back to life, back to reality. Let's put this over here. I think I'm completely frozen up. Y'all let me know in the chat room if I'm completely frozen, because I think I'm completely frozen. You can hear it even if you fuse. Okay, cool, whatever. So, all right, man. Yeah, man. Martin Luther King, brilliant. He sacrificed himself a little bit. Then he woke up when he did that Fire on the Mountain speech. Then they was like, all right, gotta go. You gotta go now. You waking up to your birthright? You gotta go. You know, shoot, Bill Cosby. Man, don't let them people fool you. Genius comedian. Bill Cosby was funny. A lot of you only know Bill Cosby as an old man, but you got to go back, man. Yeah, it's delayed. Thank you for letting me know I'm back, but yeah, it was delayed. Bill Cosby was a comedic genius, man. He was on par with Richard Pryor. You know, we talk about Richard Pryor a lot, and don't get me wrong, Richard Pryor was amazing, but the delay is on your end at times. Okay, thank you, Kashia. But Bill Cosby was amazing, man, and Bill Cosby was controlling the scene back in the 70s, man. He had won so many Emmys. He probably could have thrown some out. He won so many Emmys because he was controlling TV. You know, this was before Cosby Show and all of that. We talking about back in the 70s. He was controlling TV and genius comedian and still had his finger on, oh, it's not lagging as bad as I think. Okay, good, thank you. Still had his finger on the pulse of the hood. You know, you go watch Uptown Saturday Night and just look at the comedy, you know, when he was dancing and all of that. Let's do it again. And this dude he was hilarious, man. I ain't letting nothing take away from him, man. Yeah, he sold his birthright, man. He screwed up too. He sold his birthright. Because what the thing is, when you know your purpose and your value, there's certain things you ain't gonna do. There's certain people you're not gonna lay with. I'm not messing up my bloodline effing with you. I'm bringing forth the Messiah. And always remember, the Messiah is twins. It's Luke and Leah. It's Chokmah and Bina on the Kabbalic chart. The Messiah is not one individual. It's two. It's twins. You know, but so many genius people in our community. Like I said, Ben Carson, Dr. King, you know what I mean? Jesse Jackson, Bill Cosby, Cat Williams, you know, great minds, you know. Don't trade away your IP, your intellectual property for milk or for meat. Don't do it. I'll trade my IP for spiritual advancement. I'm trading in spirit. Yeah, Sidney Poitier, exactly. Bill Cosby ran TV. Sidney Poitier ran film. Those two together, like you don't even understand how powerful those two together were. They were so powerful that they made sure that they structured business in a way that you can't have that anymore. Who runs TV now? You see, now we could take someone like a Will Smith and say, okay, you know, huge movie star, or even a Tom Cruise. We could take someone like that and say, okay, well now if you took a Will Smith and partnered him with someone who runs TV, but then you got to take it back. We're talking about the 70s and the 60s. That's what we taking him. We ain't talking about today. These dudes were juggernauts. When they did those three films together, they were juggernauts. Oh my goodness. Sidney Poitier didn't sell his birthright though. Yeah. We know who we married. We know, but that was strategic. But he's done a lot of work in the community. Him and Harry Belafonte, they get busy. Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, Danny Glover, they get busy. They get busy. You want to talk about people who are doing the work? Those three get busy. You know, quietly. You wouldn't even know, right? They ain't selling their birthright for nothing. You know? So that's all I'm saying, man. Excuse me. Forget the accolades. Forget the accolades. Forget the meat. Forget the material. To serve with love was I mean, it was a lot, man. Sidney Poitier was. You can't count all his films. You got to go back to the black and white. He's been doing films for a very long time, you know. And people don't remember, but he was a sex symbol. I mean, my mother used to talk about Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier. You know, like he was a sex symbol, but he was the Denzel of his time, but much larger, much larger. You know, he was a sex symbol across the board, not just for melanin dominant women, but also for you know, Caucasian women and Asian women. Everybody wanted Sidney Poitier, and he's dark as night, straight out of the Bahamas, dark as night. These dudes were juggernauts, man. They were juggernauts. Sidney just knew how to play. He's like, I'm gonna go and get me this white wife. I'm gonna do this work, and I'm gonna be quiet about it. Bill was a little different. Bill had Camille. Camille got the short natural. He's giving all this money to his HBCUs. Then he goes into grandpa mode, which he was right. Everything he said, I don't care what y'all say. He was right. Pull your pants up. Learn how to speak to us. He was absolutely right. I had no problem with nothing he said. You know, people could say whatever they want about him. You know, he'll come home. Free Bill. Free bill, you know. But these are genius people who didn't sell their birthright, man. They maintained it, and we all got something. If we didn't all have something, they wouldn't spend so much time trying to distract you from what it is that you can do. We all come with something, man. And sometimes what you have is your ability to bring forth something. It might be a child. It might be art. Like I said, it might be music. It might be your dance. It might be your style, the way you dress. It might be the way you talk. And, there are people who are trying to assimilate into what you have and kind of wash out, what you have innately, so that way you can't be recognized when it's time to cash in on your birthright. We don't even. You look at a Ben Carson now, the community doesn't even recognize him. I read his book back in the days. That was my first introduction to Ben Carson. Um, my father actually gave me his book. He said, "Man, check this out. This brother's deep." This was way back in the days, and I was just on like just him as a surgeon. Then he started talking. We talking 20, 30 years later. Now he's talking, and it's like, you know. But yeah, man. We got some great people, man, and we got some greatness in us. And stop trading it off, man, because the things that you're trading it off for, they turn into dirt. Every last thing. You take a pile of money and you don't preserve it properly, it decomposes. Turns into dirt. Your body turns back into dirt. Your clothes, at least they should. Don't be wearing no fake fabrics. But everything's going to turn back into dirt. Everything's going to turn back into dirt. Yeah, they did a movie on Ben Carson, But I mean, he's just one of many, man. There's a lot of, there's a lot of genius that we have. And because we don't understand it, sometimes we ridicule it. I've heard someone recently speak down about Shirley Chisholm, young cat, and it was a wall, and he was like, yeah, everybody on that wall is cool except for that one. When you are in a war, everybody has to take a different position. Everybody's not going to be in the hood, grassroots, starting homeschools and stuff like that. Yeah, you need that, but you need other things too. Peace, quantum love. You need other things as well, man. I really need to hear this today. Giving thanks. Word, no problem, cuz. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, man. We all take up different positions. Why am I not on here like going off and using profanity? And not that that's not in me. It is in me. Because I'm speaking to a certain group of people who want to come into conscious information, but maybe sometimes are driven away by the raggedy, unprofessional delivery. Man, I needed this guidance years ago, Chief. No, you didn't. You needed it right now. Just say that to yourself, man. It's all divine timing. Oh, give thanks, Ricochet. Grow. Yeah, my nervous twitch is going away. Grow. I think something's healing in me and in you where the twitch is going away. No respect for people stepping out and what they saw as solutions. Exactly. You know what I mean? There's so many different. You got to realize you're going against a systematic beast. It's a beast, but it's a machine. It's a mechanical Godzilla. You don't just attack the eye. You don't just kick it in the groin. You need to come at many different angles to do what? To disassemble it. A lot of people don't understand that part. So yeah, you're gonna have Nerdy Brother in the lab. You need Nerdy Brother in the lab because Nerdy Brother in the lab, you need him to tell you about the chemicals that you're eating that are causing damage and harm to your body. Then you're gonna have Spiritual Sister. Spiritual Sister's in the garden, and she's growing herbs. You need that too. And then you have Big Rough Brother and Sister. Let me tell you something about that, man. I'm gonna say this, and I wanna head out. I had a busy day. There's no standard for what melanin men should look like, or what melanin women should look like or behave like. There's no standard, right? It's all tribal. It's all based on your nation. There are some melanin dominant men with micro penises. There are some melanin dominant females with acetol. You see what I'm saying? They got nothing. They just got a back leading into legs. No booty. Right? Does that make them any less, as y'all would say, African or melanin dominant? No, not at all. We come all different kind of ways, man. And when you create these fake standards, man, you create these fictitious caricatures that people feel that they need to aspire to. You see what I'm saying? Hey, I can't play basketball. I suck. I played in school and I sucked. I was second string, and I quit the team because I was second string, and I got beat out by a kid named Jesse, a Caucasian kid. I think he was Italian. He beat me out for the first string spot because I suck at basketball, and everyone was sitting there shocked. They were like, how is it you can't play basketball? Right? Well, some of us, we can't all play. But I can fight. But we can't all play basketball. Right? So sometimes we set these fictitious standards and don't realize that we're nation builders, man. We're nation, but we have always been the nation builders of the continent. That's why they scooped us up off the west coast of the continent and brought us here to build a nation. They didn't know how to build a nation. They didn't say, well, let's just bring some laborers. Come on, man. Like, don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. You was just somewhere picking cotton, singing, "Don't trust them new niggas over there." Don't fall for that. No, man. You were doing carpentry work. You were doing plumbing work because you have plumbing in ancient Kemet. The world learned plumbing from you. They brought you over here to be engineers and architects and to invent elevators and invent hot combs and invent traffic lights and invent the cell phone and learning how to use gamma energy to create other different and create the microchip. They brought you over here to do that because you're a nation builder. They brought you over here to teach them masonry, and not just masonry, mason. You think they would have, the Masonic energy is all about just trying to be Kemites. That's what every Masonic, they'll call it the Scottish Moorish rituals. Every Masonic ritual is trying to emulate the energy of the ancient Nagaru and Nagara of ancient Kemet, which you call the pharaohs or the pharaohesses. That's all it is. So let's just bring the ones over who built that place to teach us. We get into those rituals one day about the old black man. Some Masons know about that one. The old black man that they have to greet when they go to the higher degrees, and they have to tell that old black man that you are my father. Masons, Muslim sons. But anyway, don't sacrifice what you got, man, for Moloch. Don't sacrifice it for nothing. If you got to go live in a freaking cardboard box, that's better. Don't sacrifice it for a contentious mate. Those contentious mates will beat you out of your birthright. Everything you want to do, they're laughing at you. That don't pay the bills, mother. Or you need to grow up. Oh my God, you got a degree in this. You don't even use your degree. No, because I'm using higher degrees. They're called spiritual degrees. Those degrees go deeper into the ground. I'm going higher up into the cosmos, sucker. Like these universities are built upon the lowest degrees of the Masonic order. Like, I'm going past 33rd degree. They only got 1/3 of the puzzle. They only got 1/3 of the puzzle. And you think it's something special. And you only got 1/3 of it. Peace, mental alchemist, all is mine. So yeah, man, we going into this fast this evening. We're gonna have the call at 1, and I just want you. I suggest you do what you want to do. You know, I'm not here to. Yes, I'm not. You funny for shit. I'm not here to tell you what to think or what to do. That ain't my job. Um, I'm just here to give you some, maybe some alternatives to how you've been doing things, and maybe sometimes there's people that you could recognize. You may not see them, you know, and you may not see their genius. People like August Wilson and Nikki Giovanni, and you know, Last Poets, and all of these great people who chose not to sell their birthright, and we look at them sometimes and we laugh, or Dame Dash. We look at them and we say, "Oh, you could have been this and you could have been that," and they say, "Yeah, but I still got my integrity." And what is my integrity? Integrity means integral structure. See, you break down your integral structure. Your integral structure is what? What I have built, what was put inside of me, what I was created to be before I made myself into something. Creation and making comes after creation. Let us make man in our image, male and female. He created them. So you're created, and then you're made in the image of the Creator. And if somebody knows that and says, we're going to wait until it, right soon as it's created, and we're going to snatch it, and then we're going to start making it in our image. Well, how we going to do that, boss? Fluorescent lights, shots. We're going to have the woman laying against gravity when she's giving birth. We're going to have her laying on her back, so she's got to really force and push. She going to have to force so much that her anus is going to split. We're going to have to sew that back up in her. Then we're gonna shoot a big old needle up her spine. She ain't even gonna be a part of the process. Then we gonna take the baby and bring it down to a nursery with a bunch of other crying babies that ain't got nothing to do with its tribe or ilk. Just confuse it. We gonna make it into us. Because how else can we control it if we don't make it into us? Wow, boss, you so are smart. You darn right I'm smart. I've been reading them old ancient books. It tells you how to make a person. I read something about a Yakub and the 21 scientists and grafting out the brown germ to get into the red germ and into the yellow germ and into the ain't no germ. Yeah, man. Don't fall for the okie doke. All right, everyone. It's time to Catachoogie Boogie. And I know you got a lot of things that you want to do today. And you want to prepare. You probably, maybe, Chief, I'm like 150 solid. I need another way to... Weight comes and goes, YG Gutter. 150 solid is solid. Hey, man, that's solid. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with 150. You know what I mean? I was 150 7th grade. Yeah. No, I was 180 I was 180 in 10th grade. Yeah, 150 is good, man. You can do a lot at 150. Peace, Baba Utu. Yeah, man. Yeah, I had some electronic issues today too. It's all good. All right, but yeah, I know you might want to run and go get your vegetables and your fruit or whatever to prepare for the fast, or if you're doing just salad, And again, at 1 p.m., I'm not going to give too much guidance on the fast, but at 1 p.m., we're going to have that's going to be on the Anu Life Global Ministries channel. Just like some help if you got questions. So put your questions together that you want to ask about the best way to do it. So even like you, YG Gutter. Oh, where can I send you my music? I'll find you on YouTube and I'll give you a Dropbox link, excuse me, that you could drop it into. Yeah, hey, talk the truth, and they willingly sign those contracts. A lot of us do it. We have tacit contracts and then we have explicit contracts. Sometimes we sign tacit contracts. Oh, thank you, Krishan. I appreciate this. Skip that soup, bro. Yeah, let's get the meat, the spiritual meat. But yeah, sometimes we sign. I appreciate that, Krishan. 9999 999. Definitely appreciate. Thank you for all of y'all, man, who giving super chats. I know it's probably like a regular YouTube thing, and probably because I'm old school, I'm like make a bigger deal out of it. But I think it's a big deal when someone gives $1, $2, $3, $4, $50 people have given in a pandemic. You know what I mean? So I don't take it lightly because I know right now, even if you still have your job and you're doing well, you probably have family who's not doing so well, and maybe friends that you've been helping out, maybe, and sharing resources with. So I'm very appreciative personally. So I just wanted to say that for all of you who have given super chats, man, thank you so much. No matter the amount, because sometimes even at $2, $3, you're like, man, I need that. All right, you ain't got nothing in the fridge, man. I need to buy some pasta, some beans, or something, and steal some condiments, out of a fast food, try to hook it up, and pull some scallions out of the ground. So thank you, K Boogie. So I'm appreciative. I just want to say that, man, of everyone who's giving super chats and who's sharing the videos. Oh, give thanks, Hassan. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, reciprocity. Yeah, I definitely appreciate the reciprocity. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I definitely appreciate it. For real. Don't get me wrong there. But I just let you know I appreciate it, because times are kind of rough right now for a lot of people, man, and they're gonna continue to be rough. So when you take out your time, or you come out of your pocket and say, here, well, here's something for you. Thank you for what you just gave me. That's a big deal, man. And you know what? Listen to what I'm saying. I don't mean to pull, Uncle Rank on y'all, but value your contribution, no matter what it. I mean, you ain't got to get arrogant because I gave you $1, mother effer. But I'm just saying, like, when you give of yourself, value that. It's just like when I speak and people are like, Chief, I'm telling you, man, and I have to stop them sometimes. I'm like, I know what I give you. You listen to my earlier segments, I was saying that. Like 2010. Like, I know the value of this. Because people would always be like, Chief, you giving so much. You giving so much, you could charge for that. I know, I'm a businessman. I've had my first business when I was 11. I've been hustling, and I don't hustle anymore. And I don't mean like legal or illegal hustle, but I mean when we get to a certain point, you got to be a Mac. You gotta put the hustling aside when you get to a certain age and know how to do business properly. But I was a young hustler who graduated into being a businessman. Like I know the value of stuff. I know what I'm giving you, and I want to give it to you. All right. It's not because I'm just spilling gems and don't know. No, I want to give this to you. So I'm appreciative. And please, you be aware of what you give. Please. So just take this, take this appreciation, and take it for all that it is, because it's not false. It's from the bottom of my heart. I'm really serious. When I see the lies coming in, I'm not acting. When I'm like, oh, it's surprise. I'm like, shoot, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and they still talking foolishness. And then after they open everything back up, y'all be locked down again next year. You know what I mean? It's it ain't over. It ain't nowhere near over. You know what I mean? So anybody who does something for someone right now, just be appreciative, because even if it's just a kind word, people are stressed right now, man. People are losing their jobs, they're losing their homes, they're losing their apartments, they're losing family. People are getting murdered as a result of this scientific tyranny that we are now under. You waiting for the new world order and despotism. This is it. But they did it in a real fly slick way. You thought it was gonna be off of civil unrest, and what they did was they created a scientific apocalypse. So people are undergoing that scientific tyranny. You gotta have needles poked into you now, and tracking software and stuff like that. That's 1984. That's the New World Order. That's Fahrenheit 411. Like, that's everything, right? That's all of the movies that you've been watching. Terminator. Rise of the Machines. This is it. But they did it through science. So I know you're stressed and you've been losing people, and so thank you. I say all that to say thank you. All right. All right. So I'm gonna get to what I need to get to, because truth be told, I do actually have to get some things for the fast myself. Um, so I'm gonna pick up a couple of items. I got all my fruit. Excuse me. So I'm good there on fruit. I got yeah, I got black seed oil, so I'm good because I like to put black seed oil in my shakes. Somebody asked about killing parasites yesterday. I'll let the Q&A go through some of that, but black seed oil is also good. So I that's like engine oil. It tastes like engine oil. That's why I like taking it. Make me feel like a machine. Feel like I'm drinking, some WD-40, or some, some 30W, viscosity, with the engine oil. So yeah, I do black seed and stuff like that. So I got that, but a couple other little things I want to get for minerals. Because remember, you just dirt, and you're gonna go back to the dirt. So that's why, the dirt got all that copper and iron and zinc and magnesium in it, and you got all that copper and iron and zinc and magnesium in you, because you ain't nothing but dirt. All right, everyone, enjoy your day, and we'll probably speak to later at 1, at least for some of you. Again, remember, it's not going to be on this channel. It's going to be on Our New Life Global Ministries. For those of you who need the Q&A, or want it, that's where it'll be. I didn't want to do it on this channel because it's, I'm not the head of the fast, if you will. All right, everyone. So be well, and be at peace. All right, I'm gonna head up on out of here.